week 34, day 1, knowledgeable. The definition, intelligent and well-informed. The knowledgeable quote, the saddest aspect of life right now is that science gathers knowledge faster than society gathers wisdom. Let's do a little house cleaning first. Comments been made that Coach, these lessons are only 8 or 9 minutes long. They're meant to be no more than 8 or 9 minutes long. At the most, I think 10 minutes is the lengthiest lesson we've had. That gives you time to write answers to the questions. It hopefully gives you time to discuss answers. Because remember this, and it's a thing we've talked about several times, and I know some of you probably get tired of hearing it, some of you smarter ones. If you listen to what I say, you're going to remember 2%. If you listen to what I say and you write down answers and answer questions, you'll remember 60 to 80%. If you listen to what I say, write answers to the questions, and then discuss the answers to the questions, you will remember 80 to 100%. We're trying to get to that 80 to 100%. We're not trying to get to the 2%. So I'm proud if you're listening to this. But if you're listening to it, there's reasons that the lessons are 6 to 8 minutes long, 9 minutes long, so that you've got some time to write answers. At the base of your brain are the reticular activating sensors, and they are going to respond to 2 things. Anything that's a danger to you and anything that you deem to be important. If you write it down, the brain deems it to be important. So when you have these questions, write the answers. And then find an accountability partner or a teammate or a coach or someone and discuss the answers to the questions. That is what ingrains these qualities within you. Remember, character education is not pouring character. I'm not going to pour character into you. You have character within you. You need to have it pulled out. Education is a Latin term that means to pull out. In America, we have changed that to mean to pour in. If they don't get the math that we're teaching in 30 minutes, let's go 45 minutes. The truth is you've got to pull it out. And you've got to have some willing people that want to have these character qualities pulled out of them. There's not anybody on this earth that doesn't have all of these 36 qualities. Everybody's got them. Knowledgeable this week. You are knowledgeable. We've got to pull that quality out of you. Find out what it is and pull it out. The second thing on the housekeeping, I was contacted, and I want to put this in the quality of leadership. The number one prerequisite to leadership, positive leadership. Remember I told you that there's no such thing as lack of leadership. And I've heard that so many times from coaches. We didn't have any leadership. Yeah, you had leadership, coach. It may have been negative, but you had leadership. There's nobody out there. I don't care how quiet they are or how unassuming they are. There's nobody in this audience or on any team anywhere that's not a leader. Now, you may lead a group of people to be very quiet and very non-committal, but you are a leader. Period, positive or negative. The number one ingredient, and I was told this, and I believe it's true, the number one ingredient for positive leadership is gratitude. If you are grateful for who you are, where you are, and what you are, you will be a positive leader. If a person is in a coaching position that they think is truly a great coaching position, they will be a very positive leader. I told the story about DW and I going to Plano and coming back, and the one thing we learned, we had as good a kid as they did, or better kids than they did. We became more grateful for being coaches at Judson than we ever had before. And because of that, we became a lot better positive leaders. If you're in a position, I don't care if it's in marketing or sales or coaching or teaching or whatever it is, and you're tickled to death to be there, if you're grateful to be there, you're going to be a positive leader. If you're not grateful, then you're going to be a negative leader. So if you want to find out who's going to be your positive leader, find out who's grateful that they're there, because that's it. The quote I gave you several weeks ago about the why in your life, I have been told, and it is true, that Dr. Frankl did not, that is not his original quote. If you look in Man's Search for Meaning, he attributes the quote to the man that gave it. Friedrich Nietzsche, the German essayist, actually gave the quote. The quote says, "He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how." He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how. Now that's true, and Nietzsche talked about this. That's really true with battered women. When you have the domestic violence, the why that they have in their life are their children. And you ask, how can you live with somebody for 25 years that beat you and abused you mentally and physically? Well, they had a why. Their why was their kids. If you've got a why in your life, and you've got a strong why, and you have that, you can put up with almost any how. If your why is to be a great football player, you can put up with almost any type of coaching. You can be cussed by a coach. You can be mentally abused. You can be bullied. You can be beat up mentally and emotionally, and you'll stick with it. Because the why in your life to be a great football player, you're going to bear almost any how. And that's true. Writing your goals. The last thing on success, listen to this. Ralph Waldo Emerson, and I was given this week. To laugh often and much. And we're talking about the definition of success. To win respect of intelligent people. To win the affection of children. To earn the appreciation of honest critics, those people that criticize you but they're honest, and endure the betrayal of false friends. To appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a better place, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed soul condition, to know even one life has breathed easier because you lived. That is to have succeeded. I was given and we had the quality of success. That is such a great definition, to laugh often and laugh. And it goes back to Jackie Robinson. If you live your life and you don't change one person for the positive, you have a wasted life. And that's paraphrased, but that's what it means. And what this says is if you live your life and you appreciate beauty and you overcome criticism, and one person breathes easier because you lived, that is to have succeeded. That is to be a role model for these qualities. That's what it is. See you tomorrow.